ruling APC party and the National Opposition Coalition have been holding summits here in Abuja, both sides claiming to have boosted their chances of winning the presidential election in 2027. But take a closer look and you'll find gaping cracks in the ranks of the opposition amid all the talk about new strategic partnerships. The presence of both Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, for instance, whose collective vote count in 2023 was almost double that of President Tinubu, has given them a psychological boost, though in reality many details remain to be agreed, such as whether Mr. Obi is laying his political stock with the new coalition or with his old, rather disunited Labour Party, and which of the two men will lead the opposition charge in 2027. Meanwhile, as more opposition politicians defect to the APC, steadily surrendering to the power of the ruling party, what do all these deals and all this confusion mean for the obedient movement, which has so far remained resolute in its support for Peter Obi? Does anyone actually know what's going on, or are they just tinkering around the edges? Well, for more on this, I'm joined in the studio by the interim national coordinator of the obedient movement worldwide, Dr. Yunusa Tanko. Great to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me, Charles. Good evening, Nigerians.
It feels like we had to drag you in here kicking and screaming.
Well, we are on the streets, actually.
Well, you're a busy man,
yes.
So we appreciate your being here.
Thank you so much.
Let's be clear and free from ambiguity on this issue of Peter Obi saying he'll contest the 2027 presidential election on the Labour Party platform, despite the fact that he's in talks with the promoters of this opposition national coalition that aims to collectively challenge the APC in 2027. Is this announcement all about political posturing as the different titans try to find their place within the new opposition coalition, or does it signal an irrevocable position that Mr. Obi has now taken as far as the race in 2027 is concerned?
Well, in politics, you either go on an alliance or coalition with like-minded persons, people who believe in what you are doing. And you either go with your party or you go alone. At the moment now, what you are seeing, individuals who believe in themselves, who believe that Nigeria needs to be rescued. And this rescue is hung on 5 points, which Mr. Peter Obi is serious about. The issue of hunger, the issue of security, the issue of education, the issue of economy, and the issue of ensuring that even in the international community you are being viewed in the right direction. All of these are things that Mr. Peter Obi has been doing on a consistent level. You could see his movement. In fact, I wonder his nomadic nature. As he moves, sometimes you see him in Cambridge, you see him in Harvard, and then you are seeing him back in Abuja. You see him in Rome, and you see him on the streets, not flying, driving on the streets, to care about the people. He goes to Kaduna, Zamfara, Borno states, where there are issues that affect the common person on the streets. That's where you find him. And so he said, if there's going to be any coalition, especially what affects our people in the northern part of the country, you can all bear me witness. Even when there was in Taraba State, there was killing, massive killing. And these are things that concerns the Nigerian people. As of yesterday night in the evening, he was talking about what's going on. How can they be taxing people when people are in poverty level? How can they be doing this? And all? His concern is about the people. So any coalition that is going to channel the energy of Nigerians in taking us out of this particular quagmire is what he's interested in. And he has already found a lot of friends who believe in that particular coalition.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the platform, because he has to have a platform.
That's what I'm saying. Now, for example,
in the middle of having discussions with the National Opposition Coalition, he suddenly tells us that he's going to be competing on the platform of the Labour Party. And it's caused a bit of confusion. So we need clarity on
Charles, if in your home, you have a home, probably you have some dispute, which is normal. Just because you have a dispute then you go outside and sleep outside. Can't you sleep in your home? You can come back and sleep in your home. So simply what was said was that I'm a Labour Party member, and he confirmed that. If today, at this point in time, there's going to be an election, I will run under Labour Party. Even if you are going to a coalition, you should go with your political party. Did he say that
if there's an election at this point?
Yes, that's what he said.
Because a lot of people are wondering what the main reason is and what the tangible benefit of this announcement
in the context of the
at this stage of the political maneuvering, what the benefit is.
In the context of the way the question was asked, it was asked vividly, you can play the video, and then he just said, like, I will contest under Labour. That is his party at the moment. So he cannot run away from his party because there is issues. In fact, those are some of the problems that we have in this country. So he said he's going to run under his party. And it's strengthening him even if he's going to a coalition. And I'm glad they even mentioned some statement on that particular issue recently. So that's just the context in which he's
right. But what is his mindset in this coalition arrangement? I mean, because we need to get a sense of whether or not we're looking at, because a lot of things have been put out there. You know, one of them is that they're all going to metamorphose into a party called the ADC or the SDP or the formation of a brand new party. But either way, it's not going to be the Labour Party, nor is it going to be the PDP. So potentially speaking, he is preparing to metamorphose, to transmogrify into another party.
Before you go anywhere, you must have a backing where you are coming from. And it's coming from the Labour. He did not deny that he's in a coalition to save Nigeria and rescue Nigeria. It is very, very clear that this particular government has put democracy in danger. And people are coming out to say, no, we must work together to ensure that we rescue Nigeria from this particular situation.
Yes, I understand and that's the fact. But I'm trying to figure out what the terms of that working together are going to be. As far as Peter Obi, your principle is concerned.
Based on this particular issue that I mentioned, on a constant basis, he has already made it clear that he's not going to be in any coalition that does not talk about the issue of healthcare, education.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those. I understand that. And we all know that he's been very forthright and he's been very visible in terms of his opposition sort of work and his attempts to connect with the Nigerian people. What I'm saying is, what shape is his attempt to be part of that coalition going to take? Is he going to leave the Labour Party and become part of a new coalition if he's convinced that that is the vehicle via which they can put up a strident challenge in 2027?
Let me give you an analogy.
Yeah.
When you are going into an alliance or a coalition, you either go with your political party. The political party have not been talking yet, but individuals are talking to themselves. And the reasons why they are talking is very, very clear. And he is going there and say, look, when it comes to that particular period of time that we are going to choose a platform, that discussion will be made. But at this point in time, the discussion is based on the interests of the Nigerian people, which is more interesting to him.
So he's sussing people out and sussing the coalition out to see if they're on the same page with him.
That is the discussion, because there's a mutual understanding and agreement. You can see that he addressed the northern part of the country, large gathering.
Indeed.
Very interesting gathering.
It was. I watched it.
Yes, and then he was able to say, ABC, the situation of Nigeria is gone beyond your expectation. If you measure our interests as regard to issue of agriculture, who could move Nigerians out of poverty. If you measure yourself into the issue, he's been to Almajiri schools. You're talking about a Peter Obi who went to Almajiri school, even their toilet. He's helping them even building their homes where they stay. That is concern for the people. Not only that, he connects with the northern youth. At the moment now, he even helped in supporting some of their entrepreneurial programs. That is the idea of you trying to get people out of poverty. On a continuous basis, it's about the people. It's not about himself. So that makes him different. So anywhere there is a coalition interested in such a position, he's very much interested in it.
But I wonder how confident you are, and he is, that as he goes out to say that at this point he's got the Labour Party as his platform, whether the people in the Labour Party, which is riven with divisions, are actually going to be saying the same thing about
Probably
it.
that is the reason
The
why.
reason I say that, I don't mean to interrupt you,
Okay.
but the reason I say that is because you use the analogy of somebody, even if you're quarreling at home,
Yeah.
it's still your home.
Yeah.
You don't want to go and sleep outside. But you don't, at the same time, want to invite people into your home. Because if it's a pretty bad fight, which it has been, and a fight that has gone on for a long time, you're not sure whether you're going to be able to bring people into the house and what kind of reception they're going to get.
You see, on a continuous basis, there are alignment and realignment. And even in political parties, there's always find a way you have an issue and then resolve it. And the resolution of political party can come within a certain seconds. And then if it goes well,
It certainly isn't coming within seconds.
it can come within seconds if you agree.
Going on for a long time.
Yes, you can have an issue going on for a long time. When you understand each other, you hear some people I've seen here, some other person who thought that they were on the other side reconciling and then trying to say another different thing. I'm sure you interviewed them before. So it happens.
I suspect that it won't be that easy.
Well,
with the mess the Labour Party is in.
Well, we are not praying for that. And then we are resolute on a continuous basis. You see, we don't want to be seen as if we are too being nomadic. But one thing we have resolved is that we need to work with people.
Right, okay. Well, let's leave the Labour Party aside for 1 minute. How much does it muddy the waters for the opposition national coalition in terms of the alliance that it is trying to build to challenge President Tinubu and the APC in 2027, that they're suddenly hearing from him? I mean, we're not hearing from anybody. We're not hearing from Atiku Abubakar or someone else saying, hey, I'm flying the flag of, you see what I mean? I'm talking about the real prominent people in those places. I mean, doesn't it muddy the waters for the coalition? Because they're going to be thinking, well, what's going on here?
No, somebody
Where
has
does
to
he belong?
strengthen the alliance and discussions. And we have made it very clear. If we happen to be, or he happened to be, the voice of the opposition, which the governor of Bauchi State has alluded to, it's fine. But you need somebody who shall be on a constant basis. Since 2023 general election, there has not been one single politician that have been very, very vociferous and staying constantly on the opposition as Mr. Peter Obi has done. If there's anyone, please show me. The only thing is that, even as we speak right now, the way it is going, there's no one single politician or presidential candidate that can tell you that in his region he can give you the en bloc vote from that. Peter Obi is one. So that makes him the lead, most likely the most wanted or needed.
Well, that's an ambitious statement to make.
Yeah,
given the fact that you've got a whole slew of political parties
I'm
in
making
the
it with the
southeast
fact.
at the moment.
At the moment now, if you are doing your calculation, you see that Peter Obi has already a block vote from the southeast.
Well, I mean, what we need are statistics.
Well,
that's the modern way of doing it.
Statistics is very clear.
Anybody can come out and say they've got the block vote. I mean, the PDP can come out and say they've got the block vote.
Probably if Charles now become INEC chairman today and we conduct election, you will see the facts. But anyway, what I'm trying to point out is that he has been on the front burner of opposition.